What's up, everybody? Well, got another gameplay video for you guys today. Now, somebody already wanted to see how Cyberpunk ran with ray tracing in FSR 2.1, so now somebody wants to know how it does just with FSR 2.1. So I figured, well, why not just run it and we can find out. So let's get this thing hooked back up to the capture computer and let's see how it does with FSR but no ray tracing. Hopefully it'll do pretty damn good, but we will see. Let's get it hooked up.
All right, let's start our FSR gameplay here, but before we actually turn that on, let's just get a baseline of how it plays. That way we got something to compare it to. So I just pretty much turned everything on high. Not necessarily how I'd play the game on the laptop, but figured we'd just crank it up, not to ultra, but to high, and turn ray tracing off, because we already did it with it on. So let's run the bench. Well, we got an average of 82, minimum of 45, and a maximum of 150. And there's some of the settings anyway. So now with that done, now let's go run around a little bit in the game. Well, let's start by just running around a little bit with no FSR on here. Interesting, we were doing all right for a little bit there, but now we got up to this part with all the cars and people, and now we're dropped well under 60 here at parts. Market, huh? All right. A bunch of police officers questioning that guy. Alright, well, we'll just climb over you. And I think that's probably good enough. Let's just run a little bit. And let's call that quits. Now we will turn on some FSR 2.1 and we'll start with quality. So all the rest of the settings are exactly the same though. But we'll scroll down anyway just to prove it. And no ray tracing either, as you'll see when we get to the end. We already did a video on that, which I will upload before this. And there we go. Let's run the benchmark. So we're up to an average of 104 from I think what was 98 or something like that, or 80 something. Minimum 49 and max of 169. And here we go. We're on quality, like I said. So now let's go hop into the game and run around a little. All right, now for some FSR on quality. So let's just run around again. At least around in this area, it doesn't seem to be making too much of a difference, if I'm honest. We're a little better than we were, but I have a feeling if I start sprinting, we're going to drop way under 60 again. Let's find out. Yep. Just like before, down to like 54. Ah, damn, all the way down to like 46? Shit. I wonder what setting makes that happen. Like, what setting do I have on too high that is just causing it to act like that, I wonder. I'd have to sit there and play around with it again. I had settings at one point, but they obviously got messed up when I went and did the last video, but nothing wrong with that. If I was going to play again, I can sit there for like 5-10 minutes just fucking with settings to see what's playable. But for a game like Cyberpunk, I'd probably just go play on my main computer anyway. It's just awesome that this computer can still play it halfway decently anyway. Alright though, why don't we go ahead and move on to the next FSR setting. Alright, on to Balanced FSR 2.1 now. So, a quick scroll through all the settings again, just to show you everything's the exact same. And again, no ray tracing. Already did that video with FSR on. So now let's go run the benchmark. So this time we got 106 average, 49 min, and 175 max. So I think we went up by like 3 or 4 on about everything, except for possibly the min, and we were unbalanced. So now it's time to get into the game and run around and see how it plays. FSR Balanced now. This is FSR 2.1, and yeah, it definitely doesn't look so awful bad anymore. Like, don't get me wrong, if I really pixel peep, I can still tell something's going on, especially towards the background. But still, though, it seems like we're having the same problem. Whatever that setting I have on still is not fixed by even having it unbalanced. We still drop down to about the same 40 that we did last time we ran through a place like this, so I don't get it. But all that means is, well, I do get it. It just means we got a setting that's too high up for either the GPU or the CPU. So you just have to go through and figure out what that setting is, and then I guarantee this will be playable with FSR included. Just run like FSR Quality or Balanced and mess with the settings till your heart's content until you get a good picture and a good frame rate. Look both ways before crossing the street. Anyway, though, why don't we go ahead and get hit by a car and then move on? On to FSR Performance now. So this is the new 2.1, as we've been doing for the rest of them. So we'll just scroll down to the bottom here, and then we can get into the bench. No ray tracing either, of course, as we've already done that in a previous video. So, to the benchmark. All right, the benchmark's all done. We got 108 now, same 49, and about the same for max. I think we went down 1, actually. But we did get a couple more average. I think we went from 106 to 108, so let's jump in the game and see how it does. But with the low minimum being what it is, it's probably going to be more of the same. This is FSR 2.1 Performance now. And don't get me wrong, it looks a little weird now. You can definitely tell it's like pretty low resolution, but I will say it is a vast improvement to 1.0. I remember trying FSR when it first came out, and it's 1.0 form in this game. And that's pretty much what it felt like, getting hit by a car. Because it was like Vaseline. So now we're just going to keep getting hit by cars. You know what? Fuck it. I like getting hit by cars. We're just going to go run around and get hit by cars. What the fuck? You're not going to hit me with your car? Fine. I'm going to run over you. Alright, this guy's already stopped, so he can't run over me with a car. Come on, somebody. Why won't anyone run me over with a car? There we go. Thank you. Alright, now we're just going to surf. We'll just use him so we don't even have to waste energy. We can just explore the city on his car. Huh. Very interesting city. But it looks like we're getting stopped by a light anyway, so I don't know how long that's going to take, so why don't we just go ahead and move on now. Last up, we got some Ultra Performance FSR 2.1. So one last time, let's scroll to the bottom. No ray tracing. And now one last time, we can run that benchmark. Well, all right. I forgot to turn that off. There we go. We got 110 this time. Average and minimum still 49, and then max 179. And it was on Ultra Performance, so let's get into the game, though. Since the min stayed the same, we're still probably got the same bottleneck, whatever it happened to be. Now we have FSR Ultra Performance. And while it definitely does look pretty bad, I will say it's a vast improvement to the old one, or Ultra Performance. I can actually make out some detail here and there. Before, hell no. It felt like you were playing something even like worse graphics than a Switch. But, I mean, we're so low resolution now, people have like auras about them, like pixel auras. Because there's so little, there's nothing any of this thing can do about it. We're just too low. I kind of wonder what kind of resolution we're even at right now, to be honest with you. All I know is it's low, probably 540p or something maybe. But yeah, well, when we run, we still run into the same problem. We still drop down in the 40s here and there. But for the most part, we at least stay in the 60s, at least in this particular part. If I wanted to be super thorough, I would have had to stay in the exact same area and just keep running around the exact same area. But I thought that'd get way too boring, so I decided, nah. Ow. I keep getting attacked by the frickin' barbed wire. Stupid barbed wire. Oh shit. Oh, that's you. Okay, well, let's just leave them alone. Probably everybody there could kick my ass. I'm playing the hardest difficulty and I don't have good gear yet, so not a great combination. But whatever. Let's just move along now.
Well, alright, guys. That is a wrap for Cyberpunk and FSR 2.1. At least with everything on high, still can't quite maintain 60 all the time, even with FSR. It's just a really hard game to run, but FSR for sure does make a difference though. As you saw, we did gain a lot of FPS, especially in the averages, but still had random drops down to 40 here and there. There must be some setting that doesn't agree with either the CPU or GPU. So you just have to sit there and fiddle with settings, but not doubt in my mind you could get a 60 FPS experience on this thing. Anyway though, now it's time for me to move on to another quest I had for a Plague Requiem. So now I'm gonna go do that, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and until the next one, peace out, guys.